Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me on this lovely sunny day we've got in the UK today. My name is Warren Bennett. We've got Trev zonked out on the floor down there. This video is all about trying to drop this right arm in the slot. And this can be done with any club, so if you're struggling with your pitching, irons, fairway woods or driver, this is a great one. So, as you know, front camera setup, I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay everyone, so you might have seen a previous video I did about how the importance of the right arm, and it's so important. And I've got another little feel here that you can kind of take to the course straight away or take to the practice area. And what you're looking for in the right arm, and this is really going to benefit, I would say, more of the golfer who slices the ball, who has, thank you very much for that, some trouble to try and get this right arm in the slot. As we know, or if you've been there yourself, if you're a caster, the club or your arm tends to go out too much, this is a really good one, because what you're trying to do, you're trying to get this right arm in the slot, because if you can get this right arm in the slot, you've got the club in the slot. Whatever your right arm does, you can see from the front camera there, if my right arm's too high, which obviously it's exaggerated and I can't get in the position exactly, but if my right arm's too dominant over the top of my left, it's going to throw the club face out. Very hard to. And this happens kind of 3/4 of the way up, and in that transition, a third of the way down. If you can get this right arm in the slot, it makes matters, and it makes golf so much easier to then release. And that's going to give you more power, more strike, more distance. This is called the dumbbell curl. You've got your elbow out in front of you, and you're kind of lifting it up like that. Trying to get your elbow out in front of you with your hand and forearm haven't rotated and gone over. They're still what's called, it's going to feel quite open to you, especially if you're over the topper. So if I have my hand out flat, and I'd like you to do the same, you can kind of make your backswing, but open your right hand, or your backhand, so obviously right hand if you're a right-handed golfer. Now what you're trying to do, you know, 3/4 of the way down, you're trying to get this right arm in a position where you can make a dumbbell curl. So let's try that again. So backswing, right hand open, and now drop it in a position where your right elbow is facing the front camera and your hand is facing the front camera. Now if you're used to doing the opposite, that is going to feel absolutely crazy to you. It's going to feel like the club face is too open and your hands are too open. You're going to feel, how am I going to hit it from there? And I would say, yes, it's a bit too extreme, but you need to feel that extreme to kind of get a sense of normality and neutral. And there we go. Hand up, open, drop in that right arm position. There we go, drop in. There's your dumbbell curl. You want to feel this right arm still facing that front camera there. So when I look down, it's still facing out. It's not facing at the ball. I think a lot of golfers have a tendency, and when you think about it, why wouldn't they? The target is out there, and you want to try and get this hand and club face back to facing the target as quick as possible. And it's not really like that in golf, especially the first half of the downswing. But we're exaggerating this a little bit to try and kind of give you the feeling. You don't actually have to do it this extreme, but it's going to give you that feeling of delay. And that's what's called waiting for it. You're waiting for the club to come down and hit the ball. In golf, this transition, however long that transition is, let's say half or a little bit longer than half here, it needs to be down and away from the target. The target is there, but we're just dropping this thing in the slot to start with. So the downswing is down, you see. And that's difficult in golf, because when we start out and we start playing, the target is kind of sideways to the left here. So we're trying to get this club out towards it as quick as possible. That's wrong. You need to try and come away from it first. And then the last half of the downswing is the bit that we now square up, called release. You can do it without a club if you like. Both hands drop into that position. Both hands, just do it with the right only if you like. There's my right hand open. Now what you're not trying to do, you're not trying to get the palm to face the target. You're trying to get the palm to face out towards the front camera there, and get your right elbow into that dumbbell curl position. And you can just do that. So hand open, hand facing kind of up, facing the front camera there, and you can see slow motion there. I'm going to kind of rotate slightly, but I can just keep my elbow basically and my hand where it is and drop it. Might feel like quite passive in your top half, and that's a good thing, because you're trying to drop this club and arm in the slot and this hand in the slot, and then everything else takes over from there, as in release. Backswing, open your hand, drop it. Open your hand, drop it. And there's that dumbbell position. There's that dumbbell position. Beautiful. And you can do it without opening your hand this time. So up to the top, give yourself a few seconds to kind of, right, get your equilibrium. Right, okay, here we go. So we're going to drop it in the slot. Now, if you're not used to doing that, that's going to feel very strange to you, especially the amount of gap you have between your arms. You can see from the behind view there, got a massive gap between my elbows. And that's a good thing. And you probably won't go there when it's under speed. It's always going to get thrown out a little bit, especially if you're an over the topper. But let's get in that dumbbell position. Dumbbell position. There we go. And you just do practice swing after practice swing after practice swing. Repetition is the mother of skill. You do not want your hands to be facing the target yet. Keep them back. Keep them back. Now to you, that might feel open and the club face is open, but from there we can now close the door. Got to try and keep that door open and keep that door neutral, we're going to call it. If you can get the club face and get your hands in a position so the club is in this position, over time the club will start releasing. It will have to. Forces of that club will do it for you as well. You might need to give it a little secondary reminder of a release, but we're not here for that right now. So hand open at the top, drop in. You can see there I'm really shut, what's called shut. I'm still closed, I haven't really opened my top half yet. I'm allowing this arm, to allow these arms to drop in the slot, I have to be passive. If you make enough of these movements, drop in the slot, get in this position where your hand's still facing, you can open it, let my hand's still facing out towards the front camera there, away 90 degrees of the target. After a period of time, you will get a sense of, wow, my shoulders feel a bit passive, or top half feels a bit passive, or my arms are doing this. And over time you will. If you generate and if you swing enough times, repetition is the mother of skill, but it's also going to give you feeling as well. I think Tom Kite said something about make the move and the feeling will come. Remember, layering it up with nice rhythm and flow and balance. You don't actually take forceful movements out on the golf course. It's done nice and smoothly. But get yourself in this dumbbell position, this right arm, and the club will do everything for you. It will give you more speed, give you more power, better strike, and then hopefully it will cure that slice. So like I've said in many of the videos, not every video is going to be for everyone. But it's just taking these little feelings and kind of adding them into your kind of library and your arsenal, and hopefully that'll give you the kind of knowledge and the skills and the mechanics to get you through that round on a bad day, because you might be suffering a little bit, or you might be over slicing it and you think, oh, I remember something about Warren saying something about dropping this right arm, do a few, and then you might get that sense of feeling. Because you're dealing, like I said at the very start, you're dealing with this position where it's very hard to feel. So I would really encourage breaking it down, practice swings, slow motion swings, and then you can take it from there and trust it. Okay everyone, so if you think this is a video or a channel that can help you through your golfing career at the moment, I'd love to have you along as a subscriber. So thanks very much everyone. So just as the sun's going away, we're ending the video. Good timing at last. Okay everyone, so have a great golfing week. Stay healthy on and off the golf course. From myself and Trev, we bid you farewell. Cheerio.